All right, thanks for tuning into Leading Forecast. And tell you what, a significant severe weather event is set to unfold across the nation's heartland, I guess, across the Midwest and the Great Lakes area tomorrow. Quite a bit to talk about, so let's get on over to it. This is the water vapor imagery. You can see here's that last system going off the coast here, and our next system winding up out here, and that's going to swing through and really start to bring some severe weather out. And that's going to start tonight. You can see a slight rest down here across the same areas that got hit hard just a few nights ago, from Branson down towards the Boot Hill, Missouri, even down towards southern Illinois. The good news is I think most of that will be hail. I don't think we'll see any kind of tornadoes tonight. If we do, they're going to be very brief. But most of that will be hailstorms, so doesn't looks like we're out of the problem area tonight. But tomorrow is where it really starts. 45% risk, basically from Indianapolis to Cincinnati to Louisville, even down into Nashville, even down towards northern Alabama, and a lot of these places. This is Hatch, so we're talking significant tornadoes and wind damage in that area tomorrow afternoon as storms get firing, and you can see the moderate risk there as we get into that'll be for tomorrow afternoon for damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes, some possibly strong long tracks. So, very intense situation. This is as we get into day 3. See text out here. We may see a slight risk out here on day 3. We'll just have to wait and see how that all plays out tomorrow. All right, we're going to kind of go into depth and kind of tell you a little bit that we're going to first look at the atmosphere for tomorrow, and then we'll kind of end with how things are going to play out as far as storms, etc., and the timing on those. This is by tomorrow morning. This is 15Z or 11 o'clock Eastern time. You can see dew points. These are the dew points. These are starting to really come up out of the south here. This is as we get into 5 o'clock, which is 21Z, and 60-degree dew points as far north as Evansville, Indiana, maybe even up towards Bloomington at the IU campus. Hitting 60-degree dew points, 55 over up in Indianapolis, down towards Cincinnati. And so we're a lot of dew points starting to come up, a lot of moisture surging in from the south. And those dew points are going to eventually, I think, kind of come up into here. In fact, Cincinnati may be seeing 60-degree dew points tomorrow as well. Going on over, this is the lifted index, and for early March, this is ridiculous. We see, anything really above like a 2 or a 3 for early March is, pretty impressive. We're seeing places down towards Nashville approaching a -9 to a -10 lifted index, and anywhere from a -3 to a -5, all the way up to the I-70 corridor here across Illinois, Ohio, and Indiana. So a lot of instability building up there. As we get into 21Z, you can see -9 to -10 down here. We're getting very strong lifted indexes now approaching Indianapolis, or north of Indianapolis, north of Cincy, up towards Urbana-Champaign. And then as we get into 0Z, they do go down a little bit, but we're still seeing, a lot of instability in the atmosphere as we get into tomorrow. This is the CAPE, which is convective of available potential energy measures, kind of buoyancy and instability in the atmosphere. This is as we get into 5 p.m. tomorrow. We're dealing with possibly as much from like Evansville down towards Louisville, Nashville, as much as 2,000 joules per kilogram, and that is a lot of CAPE. That's good CAPE for any setup, but for this kind of a setup, it's a lot. The warm front's going to be extending right in through this area. That's why the CAPE really goes down once you get north of I-70 here, too much north of I-70, because right now the NAM pulling the warm front a little farther south than originally anticipated. And then as we get into 8 p.m. on Friday night, still dealing with a lot of CAPE all the way through this area and all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So thunderstorms definitely going to have a very strong environment. This is the EHI value. Anytime you see these up here, regardless of whether it's kind of the white or the darker oranges there, this area is going to be primed for strong tornadoes. This is very, very strong tornadoes are going to be possible in this area. This is the significant tornado perimeter. This is basically something we look at to tell us whether there could be potential of very strong tornadoes, even more so than the EHI. This is tomorrow afternoon. We can zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it a little better. And we're talking southern Indiana. This is early afternoon, southern Indiana, southern Illinois, down through western Kentucky towards Paducah, and then even up towards Richmond, Indiana on I-70. And then as we get into 5 o'clock, you can see that significant tornado perimeter encompassing the entire portion of central Indiana and then northern Kentucky, even down into central Tennessee. And then as it moves off to the east, it goes into that significant tornado perimeter, maxing out as it had done all day, all the way into Ohio, which is telling us, there could be potential for significant, damaging, large, long track tornadoes the entire afternoon into the nighttime hours tomorrow. 500 millibar trough coming in. You can see this is the large trough coming in. Some good diffluent flow starting to form here. A lot of energy with this thing, and that's what's going to help enhance some of these thunderstorms out across this 45% risk area tomorrow. All right, let's go on over. This is the excuse me, the forecast maps here as far as low pressure centers and precip. This is by the time we get later on into today. Here's your low trying to form at the surface levels. Some snow breaking out across the Rockies. And then as we get, this is early morning tomorrow, low pressure center now down across northwestern Arkansas, warm front trying to come up here, and then your cold front dry line extending down here. As we get into 18Z, your low now coming across Illinois, your warm front coming up through here about I-70 corridor. Storms could start breaking out along that warm front as early as maybe 2 o'clock. We'll just have to wait and see. This is showing some precip breaking out across south central Illinois, basically from Terre Haute, Indiana, over towards St. Louis. Potential for thunderstorms already starting to break out by early afternoon. As we get into 5 o'clock, low pressure center now off into eastern Illinois, western Indiana. Warm front still draped just north of Indianapolis up towards central Ohio. Now your front starting to push down through southern Illinois into Arkansas. Snow getting developed on the northwest side of this storm, The storm starting to break out. Indianapolis on over towards central Ohio. Maybe even some scattered storms already starting to develop down towards Cleveland and Louisville. And then as we get into 8 o'clock, starting to get dark now. Low pressure center running through northern Indiana. Cold front starting to drape down, and warm front sitting here. Showers and thunderstorms still going probably along the warm front. Now showers and thunderstorms really getting going along the cold front as well, as that continues to move east. As we get a little later, this is by 11 o'clock Eastern time, low up here, cold front coming down. Still some showers and thunderstorms here, and showers and thunderstorms getting going across the deep south, as well as over towards eastern Tennessee and Kentucky. Again, still staying severe. And then as we get into Saturday, you can see this is bringing two lows, almost more like a nor'easter, but we'll have to see how that plays out. So the timing on this is going to be critical. If you're, in these areas that are going to be affected tomorrow, we'll go back. In this area tomorrow, you want to keep a very, very close eye anywhere in this red. You want to keep a very close eye on the weather. National Weather Service or local media outlets, the best way to go when you have this kind of a significant severe weather outbreak. I know there's several people thinking high risk. I don't know if I'm going to quite warrant a high risk tomorrow. If we could get some kind of a boundary set up, like an outflow boundary or something like that, maybe. I think you're looking, if there is a high risk, probably looking somewhere towards Cincinnati, Louisville, into this area. We'll have to wait and see. So anyways, a lot going on tomorrow. Stay informed and stay weather aware. Until next time, I'm Joseph Cooper.